Hi everyone. Up until now, we've been exploring prompting in isolated pieces. It is time to bring those pieces together into a complete end-to-end workflow. And along the way, I'll show you some productivity hacks available in Gemini, like how to double check responses for accuracy and export them directly to Google Docs. We are going to explore two scenarios that are by far one of my favorites when it comes to working with Gemini. Those are brainstorming and getting feedback. But before we start with our first scenario, let's talk a bit on how to choose your AI model. You have seen me switching between them throughout this section demos, and you may be wondering, so what model should you choose and when? Your choice depends on your subscription plan. If you are a paid user, I suggest you make thinking your default choice. Its reasoning power handles almost everything. Switch to fast only for low-stakes tasks like quick grammar checks or quick questions, and switch to Pro when you are dealing with long documents, deep research, or anything that requires sustained focus across a large amount of content. That's where it earns its place. I've been working with Gemini for quite some time now, and this is the best workflow I've come up with after a lot of experimenting. If you are a free user, keep fast as your default, because the more advanced models have limited daily quotas on the free plan. So you need to be strategic and save those credits for when you really need them. Switch to thinking when a task requires deep logic or multi-step reasoning, and switch to Pro when you are working with large content or need that higher level of nuance and depth. Now, with that in mind, let's jump into our first follow-along scenario of a brainstorming process. I want you to imagine you are the marketing manager for a very ambitious, imaginative sleep tech startup called Snooze AI Systems. We are about to launch the Snooze One, the world's first autopilot for your dreams. As you can see from our internal briefing, this mattress has everything from climate zoning technology, DreamSync analytics, and the Vibe Sync story engine. We need to build a social media launch campaign that makes smart sleep sound essential. So let's open Gemini to start the demo. I'm selecting the thinking model because we need a creative strategist who can handle nuances. And let's begin our brainstorming. Here is the first prompt that I'm going to use. You see that I first introduce the role that I want Gemini to take. Then I included a bit of a context in terms of what we are about to launch, our target audience, and then I gave a task to Gemini to suggest 10 content themes for our 30-day launch window. And let me also include a PDF file that you just saw to provide even more context to Gemini. And let's hit enter. So here are the 10 themes that Gemini suggested. I like this theme the best. So let's ask Gemini to dig deeper into this specific theme. So here is my second prompt, and let me actually specify that I want 10 post ideas. Let's hit enter. Great suggestions. And in case if you don't like some of them, you can always ask Gemini to suggest you 10 other ideas. So let's do this. I notice when you do this several times, you can come up with really great suggestions. So please try do this and don't just use the first list of ideas that Gemini provides. Let's do one more iteration. I gave some feedback to Gemini regarding the list of ideas that it provided. Nice. I see that we can work with some of the ideas further, but before we start doing the actual scripts for our post or videos, let me ask Gemini another question. Before we proceed next, I want to know what are the current social media content trends for tech product launches, like in our case. Here are the trends. You see that it correctly picked up the current year. And here is my next prompt. I'm going to ask Gemini to suggest 10 short-form video script ideas for the vibe check storytelling series. Let's say that I would like Instagram to be our platform of choice. And notice that I also included this PDF with the viral hook ideas that I want Gemini to use when preparing a response. This is what is called grounding. So I'm anchoring the AI's response in our specific brand style, so the scripts don't feel generic. Next, I also provided the structure for the script. And that's it. Let's hit enter. All right, we see that Gemini included some placeholders, and I really want to have a full script ready for the teleprompter so that we can just record the video. So when brainstorming, I start with asking Gemini to explore a wide range of ideas. Then I might iterate on those ideas several times. And then I usually select an idea which I like and ask Gemini to narrow down on that topic and let's say create a post or a story related to that idea of my choice. All right, our script is ready. I can continue talking with Gemini and ask to adjust that script or take another idea to expand. But let's say I'm fine with this one. I can actually export this script directly into the Google Doc. You see 3 dots icon here. If I click on it, I can choose export to docs, and let's see what happens. Gemini tells me that the new document is created. Let's click open. Very nice. We even have a table with the time codes and exact text that we need to say. Very cool. And you also see here Gemini suggests to export this table into sheets. Let's try to do this as well. Personally, I like exporting to Google Docs for this scenario. I think it works better for this type of document, but you got the idea. That's it for this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.